Hello, my name is Pablo, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video where in this video I'm going to be telling you everything that I watched in August, which is 34 movies, which is quite a lot for me. And also I got Letterboxd this month, and I know I never had it, I never used it, but I've been using it, so I wanted to recap everything that I watched in August. There's 34 movies, which is a lot for me, so I feel like we shouldn't waste time. Let's just get on to looking at everything that I watched and let's talk about it, okay? Let's go do that. So here's my Letterboxd. I do not know how to properly use it, but here we are, and I am out of focus, it seems. No, am I in focus? I can't even tell. So basically, I have watched 34 movies. It says this year, but I've only been using Letterboxd for a month. 34 movies is quite a lot for me. I do not even know how Letterboxd works. I just put in favorite movies that I like. I don't even know if they have to be like of all time. Anyway. Long story short, I do not know how Letterboxd works. I'm going to go over everything that I watched because it's quite a lot of movies. I'm not going to give like very deep analysis of everything. There's going to be movies in here that I absolutely adored, movies that I absolutely hated, and I feel like we should just get on with it because there's quite a lot of movies. Here's everything. Let's get on with the first movie. Oh yes, and they all say the 6th of August because that's when I started using it, and I kind of logged everything that I watched for the month. So, Midnight Run, I absolutely fucking loved this movie. This movie was so fucking good. Martin Brest knows how to use music. He knows how to make you care about characters, how to make you laugh, how to make you a little bit emotional, and it is just a perfect movie. It's 2 hours long, but the 2 hours fly by very, very quick, and it's just an absolutely incredible movie. And I kind of went on a Martin Brest spree throughout the month, and I gave that a 5 out of 5 because it was just so good. It's one of those movies that made me just love movies, you know. Then I watched Deadstream, which was absolutely horrible. It was a POV horror movie where the main guy, the protagonist or whatever, is very corny. He's very annoying. I know that's meant to be the whole shtick, but it was horrific. It was a very boring movie, and just everything about it I did not like. I just kind of wanted a good POV horror movie, and I did not get that. And I gave that, what did I give that? 1.5 stars. I know that was very harsh, but this is my first month using Letterboxd, so you know, but it wasn't good. It was very, very, very bad. Then I watched In the Bedroom because I kind of wanted to watch all of Todd Field's movies, and I liked Little Children more. That sounds like an insane sentence. I liked that movie more than this one, but this was still such a strong movie. The concept, just a general premise, and the storyline of the movie was very good. Todd Field just knows how to craft a very good story, and I gave that a 4 out of 5 because I liked the other movie, Little Children, a little bit more. And then I also watched Tar next, which I gave a 4 out of 5. I feel like Tar was a very slow-paced analysis of one character, whereas other movies you kind of have like a lot of intertwining stories, a lot of things going on. But in Tar it was just one character, and kind of looking at how she uses the fact that she is privileged and has all this power and thinks that she can get away with absolutely everything because she has that power, which is not the case. And it's interesting to kind of see her mentalities, and just, you know, it's a slow burn. It's a quite long movie, but it's very interesting, and the ending is great. I definitely need to rewatch it because I feel like there's so many things that I missed. Then I watched The One I Love. I thought this was quite interesting. It was quite an interesting concept. I remember somebody telling me it was not good, but I thought it was fun. The ending is quite interesting, and I don't know, it just kind of makes you think and reflect upon things, I suppose. And if this did exist in real life, I feel like a lot of people would use it and abuse it because, I don't know, is it too far of a stretch to say it was a little bit philosophical? I don't know, but it was quite good. I enjoyed it. I gave that a 4 out of 5. Then I watched Perfect Blue. I'm not gonna lie, there were scenes towards the end that I was not sure about. I don't really watch like anime movies. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it was so interesting, very depressing, very graphic. Scenes that I did not expect to be in this movie were in this movie, and it was just so fucking good. And I gave that a 4 out of 5 because I would have given it a 5 out of 5, but I just did not entirely understand it, and I'm going to admit that. Then I watched Triangle, which was a horror movie where like everything repeats itself. It's like Groundhog Day-ish, but in a horror movie, and it was awful. The acting was horrible, the concept was terrible, the ending was awful, and I just had a very bad time about it. I saw it on TikTok, and I had high hopes for some reason, and I shouldn't have, and I gave that a 2 out of 5 because it just wasn't good. I don't know, I just wanted a good horror movie, and I did not get that. Then I watched Waiting for Guffman. I think I liked Best in Show a little bit more. The characters were okay. Some of them were very funny, some of them were very, you know, I just didn't like a lot of them. And oh, just so you know, I have not like written down, like I do not have any script, I have nothing, I'm just kind of going off memory, so I'm trying to remember how I felt about these movies. I also don't really like musicals type things in movies, so maybe that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5, but I just thought it was very fine. It was funny at times, and yeah, it was just a good comfort watch, a nice easy watch, so that's why I just gave it a 3.5, sorry, 3.5 out of 5. Then no, not this. Then I watched Jeff Who Lives at Home, which was also very fine. There was, again, nothing special about it. I just watched it because the cast seemed interesting. It was a short movie and I just wanted something short to watch, but I feel like this movie tried to capture something and the movie was just too short to capture what it was trying to go for, and I just don't think it really hit the nail on the head. And it was okay. It was like average at best. That's why I gave it a 3 out of 5. I didn't think there was anything special. My lighting is all over the place, I'm so sorry. I didn't think there was anything special. The casting was interesting, but I feel like they just tried to deal with too many themes at once, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 because it was just fine. It was just absolutely fine. Then I watched Beverly Hills Cop and I give it a 4 out of 5, but if I look back on it, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 because this was fucking fun. Such a good movie. Eddie Murphy carries it. I watched it with my girlfriend and we just had a really good time watching this. So interesting. I think there's a second and a third movie that are not meant to be that good, but it was fun. Once again, I had a good time. Eddie Murphy just, I don't know, Martin Brest knows how to make a good movie, and he knows how to use music, how to make interesting characters, and once again he does that here in Beverly Hills Cop, and it was great. I can't believe I've never seen Beverly Hills Cop. It's kind of embarrassing the way I expose myself sometimes in these videos. Then I watched Oppenheimer. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Not a 5 because there was just so much going on. I obviously couldn't wrap my hand around it. There's nothing original I can say about this movie. It was fucking incredible. It was grand. It was interesting. I liked that it just didn't just focus on the bomb. I liked that it focused on the character of Oppenheimer himself, about how his reactions were, like his mentality, and obviously, it was a fucking incredible movie. I had such a good time with it, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Then I watched Orphan First Kill, and the first 30 or 40 minutes of this movie are just fucking horrific. The CGI, just everything, it's just not good. I don't think this movie should have existed. The ending was atrocious. The CGI is awful. I feel like they just took themes from the first one, not even themes, just direct things from the first movie, and reused them. But I believe they didn't use CGI to de-age her, which is really impressive. So I gave that a 2.5 out of 5, and I feel like I'm being a little bit generous there because that was not good at all. I did not enjoy that. Then I watched Kill List, and this movie started off so good. This was like a horror slash thriller movie, and it was going so well. And then there was just little slips throughout the movie where the characters just spoke a little bit too much, like the dialogue was getting a little bit boring and it had nothing to do with the story. And the further you go on to the movie, you're like, oh, what's going to be like the reveal? What's this going to be? And I was going to give it like a 4 because I was like, okay, you know, this movie obviously has some flaws, but yes, this ending in this movie was atrocious. I thought it was a very cheap way to get out of a good movie. And it's a shame because this movie it started off so strong and then it just dropped, and I don't know, it could have been something really good and it wasn't, because I read reviews saying it's an absolute hidden gem and all this, and it was just, I don't know, it is not good. So I gave that 2 stars and a 5. Then I watched Nobody. I do not usually watch movies like this, but I watched obviously this and I had so much fun. Who's the name of the Bob Odenkirk? I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Is incredible in this. The movie's just over the top, insane. It's like John Wick type of movie, you know, like that type of thing. It was just fun. I had a really good time with it. It's over the top. The storyline is quite funny. Funny whenever you look at it from, like, you know, this sort of perspective. Like, it's obviously made to have fun, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and I really enjoyed it. So I gave it what did I give this? A 4 out of 5, which I think is a good rating. It's like a good rating. Then I watched Grown Ups 2. I do not have a lot to say about Grown Ups 2. I did not have fun with this. I thought the humor was very cheap. I just didn't have fun. It was very corny at times. You don't need me to tell you that Grown Ups 2 wasn't incredible. I gave it a 1 out of 5 because it's just not my thing. in any way. Then I watched No Hard Feelings, and I had quite low expectations going into this, but you know what? I really warmed up to the characters. I found the story quite intriguing. It was obviously quite predictable at times. You knew where it was going, but Jennifer Lawrence was really good in this. Andrew Barth Fieldman was really good in this. It was a fun movie. It was something that we put on like a Saturday afternoon to just kind of like relax, wind down, and I think this was the absolute perfect movie for that. I wish I kind of saw this in the theaters, in the cinema, but I didn't because I just didn't get a chance to, but I'm really glad I watched it at home. It was good fun. It wasn't anything incredible, but it wasn't bad, so I gave it a 3.5 stars. Then I watched The Master, and this was fucking incredible. PTA's movies are just beautiful. He just knows how to make an incredible film, and Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman, just so fucking good. What a strong movie. I think I need to rewatch it to grasp everything, all the themes, all the like, just everything. That's why I give it a 4.5 stars. But wow, this was a near perfect movie. So good. PTA, you know, like look at these movies. Like, what the fuck? How is someone this talented? It just, I don't know, it absolutely blows my mind. Then I watched Snatch, and Snatch was hectic. There was so much going on, but I found myself so in love with it. Brad Pitt's accent was awful, but you know, if I gave this movie 5 stars, then just everything else was absolutely incredible. And do not come at me being like, oh, its accent's meant to be like that. No, it's not. That's not the accent that he's going for. I promise you, I'm from fucking Ireland. I've heard them before. It's awful, but everything else about this movie is absolutely incredible. I love this movie. It was hectic, but I somehow just, I don't know. I feel like I didn't understand everything, but I don't know. I loved it. It was so fucking good. Okay, I just realized my audio was not recording properly the entire time, so hopefully the microphone on the camera picked that up, and if it didn't, then I'm gonna have to re-record this video, so we're gonna see how that goes when I'm editing this. But anyway, I gave Snatch a 5 out of 5 because it was so good. I had such a good time with fucking Snatch. It was so good. Then I went to see Barbie. It took me so long to see this movie. It was so fun. It was, once again, over the top. The music was incredible. The performances was great. I had such a good time. I obviously gave this movie a really high score. I get a 4 out of 5. Some parts just didn't take it for me, especially at the start. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I feel like on a rewatch, I would probably give this a higher rating. But overall, 4.5 out of 5. I feel like that's a pretty good rating because it was a good movie. Then I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for the first time, and again, I can't believe I haven't seen this movie. The animation style is very interesting. I'm just not, I don't know, superhero things are just not my cup of tea, but look, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. So good. You do not need me to introduce this movie. Everybody knows what this movie is. Fucking great. Then I watched Toy Story 4 for the first time. Again, insane. I know I haven't seen this, but I feel like I prefer the first 3 a little bit more because I like the cast in that a little bit more. You know, I like the characters in those movies a little bit more. But, you know, by the end of this movie, I was quite emotional, and to me, that shows that it was just a strong movie. It was nice to watch all the gang do their thing, and it was very sweet. It was wholesome, and I had a really good time, and I feel like there probably will not be a 5th one, and if there is, they shouldn't make it, because we do not need that. Then I watched Ingrid Goes West, which was okay. The concept was quite interesting. It was going somewhere, and then once again for the second half it fell off because it felt predictable. It just, I don't know, it just was not that great towards the end, especially the last 10 minutes were just absolutely horrific. Yeah, no. Then I watched a short called How Bad Can a Double Date Get, because of the cast. Cast is incredible. I cannot wait to see Bottoms, and it was just fun. It was fun. It was like 5 minutes long. I'm not even going to try to review that. Then I watched The Big Lebowski for the first time. Some of the humor just didn't really stick with me. Sometimes I really was loving it, and sometimes I was kind of not finding it funny at all. So it was good. Once again, it's a classic that I feel like I should have watched when I was younger, but I didn't watch it, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. Then I watched Signs, and I feel like Signs gets way too much hate because I feel like it's not really about the aliens. Maybe towards the end it is, but it's more so about the family and their relationships. And I feel like it's a solid movie. And, you know, some of his movies absolutely suck, but this one is strong. I do not understand the hate that this movie gets because I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I had a really good time. Then I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and this is is it weird to call this movie wholesome? It was so good. I loved it. The cast, you fall in love with everybody in this movie, and towards the end you kind of feel a little bit numb and kind of a little, you know, It's a fucking incredible movie. I gave this a 5 out of 5 because it's just one of those experiences of watching a movie I'm not going to forget, and I feel like it's a very important movie, and I really loved it. Then I watched Past Lives, which is definitely my favorite movie that I've watched probably this year and this month, obviously. It's poetic, it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's everything that you've heard about it. Like, everybody, all the praise that this movie is getting deserves it. This is the only movie that made me cry this year, and that says it all. I loved this movie. This movie was just so beautiful. It feels personal to me already, and I cannot wait to re-watch it. And yeah, I feel like if I keep thinking about this movie, I'm gonna get upset. So I feel like that's not a good thing for you. Right, let's get going. Then I watched The Village. Again, whenever this movie started, I kind of thought this would be very generic, and I was not enjoying like the first 20 minutes, but this movie picks up. There's so many questions I had about this movie, and then they all get answered. And once again, I had a good time like I did with Signs. This movie, once again, I've seen online get a lot of hate, and I feel like it doesn't deserve it because it's quite a good movie. I give it a 4 out of 5. Once again, we have Joaquin Phoenix, and in Signs we had Joaquin Phoenix, who is really good. It's a good movie. It's a solid movie. I haven't watched Knock at the Cabin yet, but I've heard that it's not good, so I'm kind of excited. But I feel like the early 2000s movies that he has made were just good. Then I watched A Tale of Two Sisters, which was terrifying. It had me a little bit confused. The mystery of this movie was very good. The characters were very good. The entire story, everything about this movie was incredible. This movie had me genuinely doing this as I was watching it, and that's a sign of a good horror movie, but it's also kind of a drama with a very solid story. Towards the end, once again, I was a little bit confused by things. I think I understand the story, but there might be some things that I'm not fully grasped. So I definitely need to give this movie a rewatch. But holy fuck, what a good movie. And I watched this because I want to watch I Saw the Devil, and I'm going to be doing that super soon. But fuck, such a good movie. Then I watched Make Happy. I didn't give it a rating. I love Bo Burnham. I haven't watched this in about a year. There's some jokes that I feel like they were going to land, and then they get a little bit depressing. I pick up and they're funny, and I feel like it's a repetition of that throughout the set. The music in this is so good. Yeah, Bo Burnham holds a special place in my heart. It's not a very original thing to say, but I really love him, and I really love Make Happy, and I like how he went from this and then to Inside, and you know, whatever. It just, I don't know, it's just nice. He's great. Then I watched Scent of a Woman. Martin Brest. This movie was good. It wasn't as incredible and as fun as the other movies. This movie was way too long, and there's just things in this that I feel like we didn't need. There were scenes in this we didn't need, and I just wanted this movie to end at times, because I feel like if this movie was like maybe an hour and 45, 2 hours, it'd work. But this movie is so long, and there's no need for it. The acting is incredible. I feel like this is the only movie with Al Pacino I've seen, which is very embarrassing to say, but it was good. I had a good time. I wish it was shorter. I wish it didn't have some scenes, but yeah, it was a good time. I gave it 4 out of 5. Then I watched Men in Black. Again, I've never seen this. I do not know how I don't know, but I found it fun. Will Smith fucking is so good in this. Did I think it was absolutely incredible? Not really. I feel like the whole Alien, the whole storyline felt a little bit underdeveloped for me. I feel like they could have had more of, I don't know, just, there's so much squeezed into this movie, and I feel like doing that in 98 minutes, is very difficult, and it didn't amaze me, but it was also nice to see, and I will understand references from this movie, and I thought it was just fine, and I gave it a 3.5. Then I watched The Blackening yesterday, and the writing in this, the references, the cast, the idea is very good, but the fucking story sucks. Like, the last 10 minutes, the ending of this movie is awful. It feels so predictable. It's so, I don't know, it's like, you could have done something way more interesting. The entire premise, I didn't know if this was trying to be like funny or scary, and if it tried to be both, I feel like it didn't work, and I gave it a 2 out of 5, which might be a little bit harsh, but I think it was that good. Then I watched Monsters Inc. That's the last thing I watched, which was last night again, and this was fucking incredible. I feel like this is a movie that everybody should watch no matter what age you are, and I just watched it for the first time when I'm 24, and I really loved it. And if I have kids when I'm older, this is a movie that's going to be a staple in their childhood, because you know, like the lessons that are in this movie and just everything, the music, just the story, it's great. And it's, I don't know how I've never seen this. I loved Monsters Inc. It was great, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 because, yeah, why wouldn't I? I had such a good time with this. I was getting emotional, I was laughing. Yeah, I loved Monsters Inc. But that's everything that I watched in August. I still have 2 more days because, you know, I have 1 more day of today and tomorrow, so, well, technically 2. So that's everything. This is everything. I might do a video where I talk about my watch list, because there's 375 movies on that, but that might be a separate video. And then I have my IMDb watch list, which has over 1,000 movies, but that's a different thingy-majig for another day. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed me talking about everything that I watched in August. I know my reviews weren't very coherent and very in-depth, but that's not the point. I just wanted to show you everything that I watched, and it was a very good month. 34 movies is quite a lot. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.